guys have made your way from the temple. You visited the villagers in a local village, and they gave you information. There's a possible whereabouts of a lair of beasts, ice wolves, that have been running rampant around the area for quite some time, but they might have even been stirred up even more with the recent appearance of MALEFAX and the dark energy that surrounded him, which you guys were able to take care of last time we were together. It's been a week since that confrontation, and you're making your way through the cold, snowy forest of thick, tall evergreen trees. They're laced with snow. And I'm going to take you guys over to the map of the valley just to show you exactly where you are in relationship to everything else. I'm going to bring you guys over and roll 20, and you should be able to see the valley load up. And if you go near the top, there's a red dot. Yes. That is where you guys have come. Now down to the south, you can see where it says village. You guys made your way from the temple down to that village. Now have made your way upstream, using the stream to kind of guide you, following the directions of the local hunters that have pointed you in that direction. Who would be leading the way?
I could.
Are any of you good at scouting?
Raven wants to lead the way?
Sure.
Okay. Raven's leading the way. I'm assuming...
On jetpack?
Wait for us!
Eats off. That's familiar.
It's at that point as you were coming around a bend and this type of animal trail that you guys have been following. You can see the opening inside of a cliffside. This dark cave. And ahead of you, you can see upon your arrival, as you guys start to make your way out of this little clearing, that you cannot help but pause and reconsider your eagerness. The darkness beyond the mouth of the cave seems to be more than just the absence of light. It weighs against your vision with a discomforting pressure, as if offended that someone dare try to see through its veil. Beyond the initial gloom, you sense a great hunger lying in wait of unwary prey. And as you attune your senses and try to break free of this odd feeling that's upon your shoulders and spine, you sense a small spark of light. Some remnant of hope and life that steels you against the malevolent presence. Your quarry lies ahead, and you're sure of it now. What would you like to do?
Well, let's get a move on.
I will ignite my lightsaber and start walking into the cave.
Okay.
Light's a good idea.
I double check my newly put together blaster pistol, make sure it's all lined up, and I'm just going in right behind the saber. Tizo's leading the way.
I get my blaster carbine ready.
Okay. And you guys disappear into the darkness of the open cave. As you proceed into the caves, it is cold in here. You can see your breath in the reflection of purple light of Tizo's lightsaber as he's walking through. And then all of a sudden, the darkness is broken. There, exactly. That's exactly it. Perfect. That's fantastic. I love it. Wait, hey.
That's fine.
Big budget here. We're going with special effects and everything, folks. Hold nothing back.
Industrial light magic in your heart out.
You guys notice that the darkness is now cast out a little bit by this faint glow from the walls of the cave as you make a few bends and turns within. You notice that this faint light is coming from crystals that seem to be kind of jetting and poking out of the sides in random areas of this cave wall.
Would I recognize these crystals by any chance? As of something that might be going into my lightsaber?
This would be. Let's call this a. Do you have
Probably some kind of lore.
Do you have knowledge
but
lore?
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
No, I don't have any knowledge stuff.
You don't have any knowledge stuff. Okay.
Nope.
Let's call this knowledge lore. So I think knowledge is based on intellect.
It is.
So basically, you'd be rolling whatever amount of dice your intellect is. So it'd just be kind of like your intellect. And I guess we'll call this, since you have experience with a lightsaber, I'm going to say this is going to be 1 purple die difficulty for you.
Oh.
Tizo.
Mm-hmm.
They would need worked, but you think possibly some of these would benefit a lightsaber hilt if the right one was found for the right person.
So you're saying these are kyber crystals?
They're a type of kyber crystal, possibly.
Okay.
Yes.
That just went way over my head.
Yeah.
Kyber crystals are the thing that go into lightsabers that
Okay.
give the like different colors and stuff like that.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Diesel, you think we're gonna need some of this?
This is something that is, if you ever wanted to make your own lightsaber, you would need some of these.
If you said if you ever need to make a lightsaber, he pulls a switchblade out and just like starts going up to try and
Be
chip
very,
it.
very careful. You gotta be very careful
Nico.
about harvesting them.
On us, are they?
Nico, as you do this, and you start walking closer to this crystal, you start hearing strange whispers in your mind. It starts to sound like, what is happening? Random events just start to flood your mind. And they're over. They're overlapping each other. So it's really hard to make out anything in specific of what is happening. But what I'd like everyone to do at this point, as you now all start to hear this in your minds, everyone does. I need you guys to make what is called a discipline check for me, as this is starting to get a little scary.
Discipline skill.
Discipline skill.
Yeah, discipline will.
And you're going to add 1 purple die to the difficulty.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Gosh.
Well,
We're not very disciplined, are we? Well,
Ooh, Raven keeps her head. Raven, I'll do yours first. As these things start to cloud your mind, you can channel them. Something about your heart and your drive. You're able to focus in on some of like there's some morbid things happen in these conversations that are kind of scary and dark, but you can sense some light in there as well. So you kind of drawn to this light side of whatever this energy is. You're drawn to it. Unfortunately, it causes you to take a point of strain because that's what that threat's gonna do. Tizo, as you are giving Nico this warning and these things start to erupt into your mind, you are currently afraid. And what that does in Star Wars is for the next encounter, all of your rolls will have a black setback die added to the difficulty. So make sure you take note of that as we go forward. But you have an advantage that you can expend.
I don't know what I can spend that on if we're not in combat. If I'm being completely honest. So
You can pass it on, so that the first person who makes a check will have a blue boost die on their next.
okay,
check.
yeah, we'll do that then.
So let's do that. Let's remember the next check has a blue boost. So Tizo is afraid. So there's a level of fear to Tizo, and there's +1 boost to the next check. Okay, Dran.
Dran. Yeah.
You are also afraid,
Oh no.
but you have 2 advantages.
Gotcha. I'll pass my advantages to Tizo. He looks as afraid as I am, and I'm like, come on, man, we can do this. Let's keep pushing forward. So
Okay,
give
excellent.
him a blue on his next.
+1 boost to Tizo. Okay. And Nico, you start to get really afraid and back up from this crystal a little bit. You are not only afraid, but you also take a point of strain as you get a little bit of a headache from trying to wrestle through all these conversations and happenings in your mind.
Too much noise.
I'm just gonna grab Nico's shoulder. I highly suggest we do not touch the crystals. The old stories say some of them have personalities of their own. So we should pay them the respect and not disturb them.
Yeah, we should, but they're just so shiny.
Is there a right way to harvest them? Like, you have a laser sword, so how did that happen?
Normally you go on a kind of like a journey when you're learning to become a Jedi, and that's part of your journey to go into a cave, collect one of these crystals that speaks to you, and bring it back out.
Yeah, crystals. Crystals.
That is not how that works. I'm sorry.
Well, when he says that, can I try and focus on that light that I was hearing or feeling and see if I can pinpoint which direction that's coming from?
Yeah, you can. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention too, that I forgot, an additional rule: everybody who failed that check adds 1 point of conflict to their morality.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did I fail?
Nope, you succeeded.
You're the only one that succeeded.
You're the only one that doesn't.
I
Okay.
just take strain from the headache.
To do this, you're going to make another discipline check, Raven. But this time, the
Okay.
difficulty is going to increase to 2 purple dice.
Ooh, okay. Be nice to me. Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa!
There's a lot going on there.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that I'm going to expend the 2 threat because this is a very stressful, strenuous thing. So you're going to take 2 points of strain for this. That's what my threat are going to be expended on. But I will let...
Okay.
Now, you got a success and a triumph. A triumph means something fantastic happens.
Natural 20.
It's kind of like rolling that nat 20. So,
This is the first time I've done that.
I'll let you kind of narrate, and you can kind of tell the story of how you succeed in this and what you would like maybe to cash that triumph in. And I'll tell you, I'll kind of like, if you're going way out of bounds, I'll reel you back in, but
Right.
just
No.
but just go with it.
I think just hearing Tizo explain like the pilgrimage and that they speak out to you, and just hearing him say that that if you're on one of these things, you'll find one that speaks to you.
Okay.
I'm focusing on that light, and I close my eyes and I just listen,
Mm-hmm.
and my vision kind of tunnels forward and maybe arcs to the right a little bit as I focus on the light, and I start walking with my eyes closed.
Yes.
And I reach out to the wall and find a loose crystal that just falls into my hand.
And as it falls into your hand, you just hear whispers, Raven, Raven, Raven. It just goes in the echo, and it just glimmers and glows in the palm of your hand.
I want one of those.
This one's mine, buddy. Just gotta listen.
See, they tend to call out to you.
He holds the pocket knife. He's like, "All right, when are you gonna start calling out to me? Or we're gonna escort you out here first."
I am not sure if trying to threaten them is the right move, but I mean, everybody's different, I guess.
I'm gonna
Bring
listen
in a
and
ship
see.
in mine with the lasers.
I'm going to put this crystal in my pack.
2 lightsabers are hanging out, and one's like, "Hey, how'd you get here?" "Oh, somebody threatened me in a cave."
It's like, all right, I get what you're saying. You see him kind of like underneath his like tentacles, he kind of pushed back, so you see not an actual ear, but it's kind of like a gill where an ear would be, and you see that there's like a little slight twitch of it. He's gonna see if he can focus his hearing to try and see if he can hear a voice that's saying anything to him.
Go ahead and do the same check that Raven just did. This is going to be discipline with 2 purple dice difficulty.
I'm so excited. I don't know what this means, but I have a crystal, you guys.
Discipline.
Does this mean I get a lightsaber?
Oh yeah,
later?
don't forget, if you are afraid,
Oh.
you have to add a black die as well to
Ooh.
everything that you do from right now. So,
Did you say that I was afraid as well?
yes, everybody
Yeah, everybody
except
said-
for
Yeah.
Raven is afraid.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I keep doing that. I'll do that one again. Discipline.
Don't forget, you guys have the destiny pool too. Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
we have a light side point.
Okay.
Success with a threat. So I'm gonna say to focus and channel in. That threat is gonna cost you a strain.
Okay. You see him twinned with one eye closed.
But you can go ahead and describe your success.
I would say that he hears a lot of the noise, but he does this thing where he thinks of dripping water, and the dripping water kind of calms out all the other noise, and it just kind of focuses in on a singular sound.
As you're focusing in, Nico, you can hear your name as well, but it sounds like it's coming from farther off into the cave. It almost seems
Yep.
like it has a source to it.
He opens his eyes and he just immediately starts walking in that direction.
Okay.
We should make sure he's okay.
Apparently, he's
I get my
hearing
gun
the
back
voices
out.
now.
Just train it on Nico's back. It's like, oh.
You're gonna shoot me if I go,
I'm still
go
just
rogue.
Walking
Take him
with
out.
the sword up.
Limp.
Dran, did you want to do anything at this moment when you heard all these voices?
I'm
and
still a
things?
little bit afraid, but I'm going to be listening as I move. I'm listening as I move.
Okay. As Tizo, as you're starting to follow them along, you hear Tizo, 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 coming from right next to you. And then you look and you see this image coalesce of a youngling, a female youngling, blue, transparent. Standing there, you recognize this image as a friend of yours. Her name was Kyra. You remember her from the Jedi Temple on Coruscant.
As soon as he sees that, he kind of just instantly just backs up and probably goes back into another wall. Does anybody else see her?
You okay,
I
Tizo?
turn around.
I point in the direction of where she is.
To everyone else, there's just a glowing crystal on the wall.
It's just a crystal. Do you
No.
want one too?
You look a little pale.
Tizo.
I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna just gather myself and then I'll walk over to the crystal.
As you're walking closer to the crystal, you see the image kind of look behind her and then look back to you and say, "No, no, 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 no," and hold out her hand towards you, and you just see this flash of red. And she disappears. And then this blue crystal is just glowing a little bit brighter on the wall.
Just gonna touch it, see if it's just movable.
It is movable.
I will take it then.
All right. You hold this crystal pulsating and beaming with this bluish light in the palm of your hand.
Well, that was unexpected. I'm ready to
You
let's
gonna be
keep
okay?
going. Yeah,
All
Keep
right.
up.
I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Okay. Nico continues forward. I believe Nico would be leading the party now into the caves, since he's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like rushing off to where his voice is calling to him.
Crystal hungry.
The farther you get into the caves, the more crystals on the wall, and the more they glow, cascading these disturbing shadows all about that almost seem to move, almost as if you went in a cave that was lit and had a water source, and that water was like glowing everywhere. Like you have that same kind of essence in these caves. And you continue to follow. Nico, you see a group, a cluster, that are glowing more brightly to you after you go around another bend within the cave. It seems to be pulsating this blue glow towards you.
A cluster of crystals.
Yeah,
are
it
glowing.
seems like a cluster. Now these are getting like big clusters. Like some of them are actually big crystals, like that are jetting out of the wall now. The more you move in.
I want to get close to it to kind of get my my ear hole close to it. And you kind of hear him kind of say very softly, what you saying? What you say?
Alien slithers into your ear hole.
No, I can't go back to that life.
Not again.
You hone in and you hear your name. Nico. Stop running. This is your destiny.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you're talking to me because you said my name. So I'm gonna take you now. Gonna reach for the cluster.
Nico, you reach. As you grab a hold of this crystal, you begin to take it out and you look at it, it's glowing and pulsating with that blue light. You start to see a multitude of confusing images as centuries of history are depicted in a handful of seconds. You are not easily able to make sense of it, although the more information is conveyed in those brief instances than you would ever thought possible. Between the visions of Jedi and pilgrims and wonders of the Old Republic, you see a chilling scene play out that seems to be of great importance. Flashing through a single frozen instant, you see a man in the garb of a local hunter enter the caves that you stand in. He's emulating cruelty and disdain for his prey like a shadowy nimbus. His eyes narrow and they never once flicker to the sides of the tunnels. He's on a mission, and he walks straight as he stalks his prey. He walks by the beautifully glowing crystals. His path takes him into a central cavern in which a mature ice wolf mother tends to her pups. Darkness then flows across the crystals around you, and light within them briefly dims. The vision feels significant somehow, but you lost sight of what happens next. But the crystal lays in the palm of your hands.
Do I get a sense of where the wolves were in the cave? Can I try and see if I can get to that point?
Yeah. I mean, you got a sense that it might have been within this. I mean, from all the visions that you see, it looked exactly like the cave that you're in. So there must be some kind of larger central chamber in here somewhere. Some kind of cavern.
I'm just gonna kind of start filling the floors and kind of seeing if I can find like footprints of 4 more steps and just see if I can retrace as much of the memory as I have.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. What is the equivalence of a survival check in this game?
I think there's an actual survival check.
Is there a survival? Yeah, excellent.
I think so.
That works out good.
If I see him going to do that, I will bring my lightsaber over to give him a better view.
Okay.
I don't know how well he can see in the dark, so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Can I see in the dark? Am I a water elf?
Look under. Well, I mean, the crystals are illuminating enough that it's not like pitch black.
Darker.
I would say it's kind of
Okay.
like dim light in here, so it's not like you're blind in here. But yeah, any light would help. So lightsaber's definitely going to help.
And what's the difficulty?
The difficulty of this check is going to be 2 purple. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 1 purple because of the vision that you saw. And you also have to remember that you are afraid, so you add 1 black setback die to your roll.
And I also get the blue die.
You have a blue die, I believe. Yep. You do have a blue die.
From the last advantage.
Yep, and that will take care of that boost.
Okay, so then survival.
All right.
That was a weird
That was a weird roll.
That is such a weird one.
Yeah, so you can describe your success. You succeed.
It takes him a minute, but like he actually kind of holds onto the crystal and just kind of remembers the steps, and you see him kind of. It's for you all. It's weird because you haven't seen the vision, but he's just kind of slowly trying to see if he can become a hunter. And then you see him kind of walk, and then he sees, I don't know if he sees like the steps of it or if he sees like traces of it, but he just kind of uses the memory and gets to a certain point, and then like sees a spot that gives him like, I feel like I'm closer to this moment.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything in this situation? Dran or Raven? As looks like Tizo's being the flashlight for Nico. Oh, you're muted.
I was muted. Yeah, I'm just observing still, kind of trying to soak in what's going on.
Okay.
He's like standing as like a hunter.
Dran, I need you to make a discipline check for me with a 2 purple difficulty, and don't forget you are afraid, so you also add a black set.
I have a black. I'm about to be running out of this cave. It looks like.
Yeah. Dran, you start to see strange visions. One is you holding close to you. It looks like a companion of yours. Another Mon Calamari. He's dying. And you're trying to get your med pack out and trying to heal the wounds, but you know deep in your mind, he's a goner. No matter how hard you try, there's nothing that's going to bring him back. You can see the flashes of red and green blasters flying back and forth through a smoky battlefield. Trees seem to be broken and lying on the ground. It looks like the ground has been torched by warfare. And then you see something walking through the smoke. A silhouette. They're carrying a lightsaber. A red lightsaber. There's some type of flowing cape behind them as they walk. And you snap out of this image. You suffer a point of strain for the threat that you
Okay. Like,
And you-
visibly. Yeah.
and you're still terrified.
Yeah. You guys see I'm like clammy and like my big eyes are just kind of like blinking and it's not good.
Okay. Nico, as you continue on, all of a sudden, these ethereal figures coalesce in the air ahead of you, continuing the vision that was cut off within the crystals that you had in the palm of your hand. The hunter sights down his rifle at the Ice Wolf Mother's neck, then slowly adjusts his aim toward her legs. A ghostly slug flies from the rifle and fires across the cavern and into the Ice Wolf. But the strange vision remains silent as you hear no sound. No crack of the rifle or yelp of pain from the obviously injured animal. The hunter then again fires another shot, pulling the trigger. Then approaches her litter with an open burlap sack. He stuffs cub after cub within, glaring at the injured den mother as if daring her to stop him. The apparition of the hunter becomes threaded through with this vile-looking black veins as you watch. And when he turns to leave, they erupt from his body and worm their way into the cave walls surrounding him. The vision and ghostly figures fade, but you still sense the corruption the hunter's actions unleashed. For as long as the mark of his deeds remains upon the cave, his spite and cruelty will remain as well.
Nico will kind of use the scene to play out, and he's kind of like actually getting into the face of the hunter and kind of like inspecting everything, looking at the gun in detail.
Mm-hmm.
When the cubs are being put in a bag, you see him kind of like look and inspect the bag and the cubs. He seems more curious about everything, more than kind of taken aback by it. And he lets the whole scene play out, and then he turns and looks to the group and says, "I think I know what's corrupting these hunters."
Were you shown?
In a manner of speaking, I saw one of the hunters in here take out one of the mother folk. Took some of the animals from the caves. Seemed like she was doing an inadequate job of taking care of her children, and they ended up getting tagged. Before he left, there was something that connected with the walls in this space. Perhaps this area is, what's the word, consecrated of some sort? Desecrated, that's the word.
That could definitely be the case here. There is something very unfamiliar about this cave.
Got a bad feeling about it.
Makes me very uneasy.
Well, we got a crystal, at least.
I look over at Dr. Dran. Did you want to try and get a crystal too?
Kind of freaked out right now, I'm gonna be honest.
Dran.
Oh, crap. Maybe we should just go.
Dran, something deeper within the cavern is echoing in your mind, calling your name.
Dran. Like, who said that?
What? What do you want?
I don't know if that's the right move here, Nico.
Dran just peed a little.
Yeah. Losing hydration here, okay?
I need you to control yourself as he pees a little.
Thinking of oceans and
No, that's not ideal.
Nico goes up to Dran and just kind of like close to what I imagine does he hopefully has an ear hole. How many creatures have an ear hole?
I guess that's something everybody's gonna have to Google later. How many Star Wars species have ear holes?
what does a Mon Calamari ear hole look like? I think this could be Rule 34.
That might be a dangerous Google search. Please don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Nevertheless, he gets close to Dran and he says, making sure that the other two don't quite hear him, he says, "All right there, Doctor. Are you gonna let your fear take over your curiosity? There might be something in that cave that's specifically waiting for you. Something special. Something real good."
Well, when you put it that way.
Go on. Live a little. We're right behind you.
Can't give up yet, right?
No, not at all.
Not yet. Come on, guys, let's go a little further. What do you think?
Well, you said it.
We're still looking for the other datacrons. I think we have to continue, even if this is uncomfortable for us.
I'm afraid.
All right,
There you
let's
go.
try to keep level heads, why don't we, as we continue on?
Just gonna
Well,
keep real
I'm-
close to Dran.
I'm going to take point seeing this happen. I'm like, I'm gonna take point.
Raven goes
now.
ahead. Okay. Okay. After a few turns through the tunnel, you guys have probably been in here about 15 minutes. About that much time has passed since you've entered the cave. Raven, you emerge from a maze of tunnels into a much larger, vast cavern. And the dim illuminations of the crystals flares to a sudden brilliance that all but blinds you as you enter. Thank goodness you have that Mandalorian helmet. When your eyes adjust to the brightness of the room, you see an elaborately marked metallic cube lying amid a pile of old bones and half-eaten animal carcasses. As your attention falls upon the cube, you realize it must be the holocron from the temple, as a translucent figure begins to project from it, emitting a bright yellow light. It's another holographic gatekeeper, like the curator that you met before, but considerably more severe in appearance. This one appears as a stern-looking Zabrak female made of a golden light. She's dressed in these armored robes that reveal plating beneath the folds of the fabric. A lightsaber hangs from her belt. But the harsh gaze she casts on you is somehow more intimidating. But her expression softens slightly after a moment, and she speaks to all of you as you enter the room. "I am the warden of the Dawn Temple, and I greet you, seekers of knowledge. Your arrival is untimely, but not unwelcome. You have brought light into these caves, So let us hope you can endure the shadows in which it casts. The figure vanishes without further comment, and it looks like the holocron is safe to retrieve.
I will go collect it, making sure to. Can I do like a perception check before I approach?
Sure, you can. Do you have the perception skill? Is there a perception skill? I believe there is a perception skill in Star
Yep,
Wars,
perception.
right? Yep.
Yeah,
And
I don't have anything special to it,
okay.
I can
Just have a
do-
32 passive perception.
I can do
Now,
it.
I
if
am
you
not
guys all want to,
Melissa.
if you can see her doing this, you can all assist her, granting her a boost die per player that assists.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
would
Wow.
think
I'll definitely do
that I could take point, and you all can assist me to look around if you want. Just
do you have
putting that out there.
perception?
Yes.
Oh, are you particularly perceptive?
Okay, then I
Yes.
would allow you to do it.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
I
as-
go up and I was like, no, let me.
I'm helping.
All right.
Yeah,
I
definitely
help.
helping.
I'm helping.
Okay, so for all three, you get to add 3 boost dice to your perception.
Dope. And then how difficult? And I also am scared. Is it a difficulty of 2?
Yes, this will be 2 purple.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
and if
Scroll
Raven's
speaker.
if Raven's making the check, there will not be any setback dice. But if you guys make the check, it'll be a black setback on it as well.
That's fine. I got some good stuff going on. Let's see.
Nice.
Wow, that's a
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
scattering of dice.
Okay, so since you're kind of making a perception check, I'm going to go ahead and take this one as you succeed, as you guys are walking around. As you guys are moving about, Dran, you hear Dran. And this blue crystal from across the room is kind of calling out to you. It's calling out your name. The Force is with you. You. You must do this. To help your friends. Friends.
Can I really help them though?
Stop running from your destiny.
I'll take one step closer.
As you take one step closer, you step on a bone and it cracks. That's what that threat is going to be expended against in the dice roll for the perception check.
Hip it in whatever in Mordor or no Moria. Yeah.
And that's when Nico, you successfully notice. It sounds like animal footsteps, like a dog running.
Oh, running.
Yeah, and it sounds like multiples.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around. I bet you're gonna see where I am. I've got a lightsaber.
Okay.
I don't know where they're coming from, but I'm just gonna stand ready for her fighting.
I'm also standing ready with my.
I'm gonna hide.
You're
Can
gonna.
I go hide?
You do have time since you were successful in your perception check. You do have time to hide. So if you'd like to hide, you can. There's not a lot to hide. Or there's a pile of bones and animal carcasses you can hide in. There's like a big outgrowth of like crystals you could kind of hide behind. But other than that, that's about it as far as like areas to hide.
I kind of scooch Dr. Dran towards the crystals, and I'm going into the bones.
Anybody who's hiding can make a stealth roll. Your difficulty on this check is going to be 2 purple, an average difficulty. If you are still afraid, you always add that black setback die until this scene finishes.
Can I hide around the crystals, or is this not hideable?
You can,
Okay.
because he
And
succeeded
do I
on
have
his
2
perception.
fear? Do I have 2 levels of fear here? Is that how that works?
Nope.
Like 2 black?
Nope.
Okay, just one.
Nope, just one.
Cool. Oh!
Look at this.
Nice.
Very
Wow.
nice, Dran.
The force is on my side.
Dran, is there anything that you wanted to expend that advantage on?
Next person, I want to give him a little boost.
Okay.
I'm keeping my eye out, calling out opportunities.
Okay, excellent. So you're successfully hidden. Raven, you're successfully hidden, and you have 2 advantage.
What can I do with that again?
You can either expend, you can get strain. You can heal 2 points of strain, or you can cash them both in to give any player a blue boost dice, or yourself a blue boost dice.
I'll give myself the blue boost dice because my strain's still okay.
Okay, gotcha. So make sure you keep note that you have a blue boost die to use on your next check. Okay, so Nico, you're well hidden. Let me double check 2 threat.
Stab yourself with one of the bones.
Oh, I got poked. I'm hidden, but I'm sitting like this.
Okay. You're hidden. You're hidden very well, but just you as you like grab Dran and you're trying to keep Dran like with you and hidden as well. It just kind of takes a little bit of extra, and your mind is always like, you're not only focused on yourself, but you're focusing on somebody else too. It's like when I take my kids anywhere, it's like I'm trying to focus on things, but I've got like him like dumping ketchup in the middle of the supermarket aisles and stuff like that. So you know,
Dran, I will turn the car around.
So what's going to happen is you're going to have an additional black setback die on your next check. Just the next check. That's what I'm going to spend it on. So your 2 threats going to be that. Nico, wait a minute. Oh, that was your perception check. So I only had 3 people that were actively hiding. Tizo wasn't hiding.
Yeah, I'm just standing out there in the open.
Okay. And it's that
Spinning his lightsaber.
it's that time that it is revealed what has been coming your way. You notice a pack of ice wolves emerge from a side passage of the cavern. They are led by a huge, savage-looking matriarch with livid scars along her flank. The feelings of corruption that you have endured ever since entering the caves seem to be emulating from this beast, as if she is their source. It's time to cut the rot from the wound. And we're going to roll initiative as I turn on the turn order here in just a second. So once you guys...
We're prepared, right?
Oh, yeah, you guys are prepared. You guys are more than prepared. So I'm going to take you guys over to a map. And I'm going to adjust some things. Now remember, maps in this game are just a general kind of essence like we've talked about before. So a lot of it is going to be abstract in nature. If you guys, I'm going to shift ping you to where your characters are. If you guys
So
know.
there's no ruler. There's no like, oh, this is exactly 35 feet.
Right. There's no like, hey, I'm going to move 6 squares. You know, there's nothing like that. So it's going to be, you describe it to me and I'll tell you if you can do it or not within the span of this.
Another question I have too before I roll. The setback dice is for initiative as well?
Good question. I believe it is. We'll roll it as it is right now.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just realized what I did.
But if
I gotta re-roll that.
If I find out in the rule book that it is not, which I will try to find out later, then we'll change that rule later.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta re-roll. I just
I
realized.
forgot to fix my health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget to fix your strain. Anything that you have.
I still have strain. I do have strain, but yeah.
Does the boost die go to initiative?
I believe
It's your next
next-
I
check.
believe it's your next check, so you can either here's what I'll do. I'll let you. You can either use it on your initiative, or you can hold on to it and use it for your first actual like check.
I'll hold on to it. So I have to re-roll that. Sorry.
Okay, let me. I need to make 3
There we
NPC rolls on this for initiative, and everybody. I guess this is cool. You guys are well aware of what's going on here. There's the first NPC.
I'm just like in the middle of the room.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you're in the bone pile.
Well, you were hiding, so you would be.
Like behind
You'd
it.
probably be behind something that you were hiding behind. Okay, so there's those.
I guess I'm
two
hiding in the
initiatives,
crystals.
And
Okay.
I think you have to remove one of the PC initiatives because I had to re-roll.
okay, I can do that. Let me roll this last one. Okay, so which one was your second roll? Do you remember?
The one with
The good one
the-
is the 3.
the
The
three.
3 is mine, and then the one that I did before that was
the
just
0-1.
0-1.
0-1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will get rid of that, and I will reorder the initiatives.
Hmm.
Oh boy, and I will change the
Now-
music because it's getting.
I got a triumph on an initiative.
Unfortunately,
Don't know what that does.
Unfortunately, a triumph on initiative only counts as a success.
It's like a nat 20
okay.
in initiative, yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it counts as a success, so it helps you to go quicker. But as far as like actually like making it so, oh, I get to go twice this first turn or something like that. It doesn't.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's no rule for that. So let's do some combat music, and you guys got to decide on a PC that gets to go first.
Not only that, but you said that I'm confused. So the NPCs will always go first with the same turn initiative?
Basically, an NPC, since there's multiple NPCs here, I get to decide when those NPCs take their turn in those spots. Just like you guys get to take your own PC turns.
Right, but if an NPC and a PC have the same...
Like the 1-1-1-1.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, roll
NPCs will
20
always
is
go
not
first.
ordering it correctly. So basically,
Okay.
that is going to look more like that. Did it change for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We're down the PC.
So we're literally zigzag. This is interesting.
this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Ugh.
Let's go ahead and put on some battle music.
I'd say Dran is like freaking out and hesitating right now. so
I'm
he
ready
may
to
be
go
last.
first since I'm not
I
scared.
hate to say this, but even though he's scared, he's looking back at Dr. Dren and he's like,
Okay.
Dran just keeps thinking about that caped figure. He's just not feeling good right now.
So who wants to go first? Raven?
Yep.
Okay. What would you like to do? You have a maneuver and an action.
I'm going to aim for the den mother, I guess. What's the range on that? Is that
It would be, I would say this would be short range.
all right? So that's 2.
Short range for, what?
Is purple.
Short range is probably 1 purple.
1 purple.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I'll get my blue boost.
You gonna use your boost?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Take aim.
Oh, look at that. Well, you took aim as your maneuver?
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, if you took an aim as well, you would have had 2 blue if you were using that boost that you passed on to yourself.
Oh.
So if you want to re-roll, you can, or you can just hold on to that blue boost for another check.
Oh, then I'll just hold on to it then.
Okay.
It's fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow, look at that. Well, I need to compare with the soak value. Okay, you definitely put a big impact, and you also got an advantage you can spend.
I guess I'll get rid of strain. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you can get rid of 1 point of strain with that advantage,
All right.
as you gain confidence from making a direct hit on this terrible wolf that comes around the corner.
How does critical work?
you get 3 advantages.
If you get 3 advantages, you can expend
You
them
can
to do
spend
it.
them on a.
Gotcha.
Got
All
it.
right. So I think that's my turn.
That's a turn, bringing us to an NPC. So, All right. The den mother's gonna go.
Uh-oh.
Makes sense.
She's
We're in trouble.
and after taking this shot, kind of just and just starts to charge Nico
Ah,
and
it
uses
sees me.
her maneuver to climb like right across, like stomping through the bones and dead carcasses, right up within engaged range of Nico, and is going to try to bite Nico.
Ah.
So, engaged is 2 purple dice. So I'm going to put 2 purple in the difficulty. I'm pretty happy with that. Are you happy with that, Nico?
Doesn't Nico have a defense?
Yeah, I do have a defense, so it's a
so-
setback
so
of
a
1.
setback of 1. You got it. Good. Thanks for reminding me, because I always forget those.
Thank you for reminding me to remind him.
So here comes the roll. Oh, a success
Ooh.
with threat.
And it reduces my soak by 1.
Yes. Pierce 1.
What?
Oh.
No.
So that's 10 total damage. Your soak, I think, will take 2 of that. So you take
3.
3. So you
Oh, it's because of -1,
minus
so
1,
2.
so 2. So you take 8 wounds as it bites into your arm.
I would like to go now.
The den mother, unfortunately, with that threat, is going to actually expend. Is going to take a point of strain from that threat, and that will end that initiative, bringing us to our second PC.
This is a hard. I don't know if I can do this, but I kind of want to.
Oh no.
Would it be possible to try and use my force power on this creature?
I'm not the meal you're looking for.
Does it specify like creature type or anything in there, or
It says when guiding or shaping thoughts, so it only talks about thoughts itself.
okay?
So I'm assuming if this thing has thoughts, I can try and shift it.
It does have thoughts, yes. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, go.
Oh yeah, Anakin tamed a beast once, right?
Can. At least in movies and stuff. Don't know about the game.
How this is gonna work.
Canon in Star Wars, who knows?
How about we go with go ahead and roll your well, are you going? Are you taking this PC turn? Okay. You can
Yeah.
roll your force die. Let's see what it comes up as first.
Oh, this works for me though. It's bad, but it's good.
I think you rolled the wrong
Yeah,
thing.
you rolled the wrong thing. You got to roll the white a white die so you can clear your. Remember the white force die in the
The
middle?
force die.
The one that you rolled for destiny points at the beginning of the game.
The middle one, right?
in the
Like
dice
a
roll,
zero
middle
or
one.
something. Yeah.
And then
That's weird. It did roll that. I thought.
Oh, you rolled nothing.
It's just not
you rolled
showing.
a blank.
you gotta put a 1.
Gotta put a
Oh, you
1
gotta
there.
put a
That's
one.
how that
There you go.
Okay. So,
I
Nico,
know how to
you
math.
can. It seems as if you're drawing on some dark energy here, though.
Yes.
So,
I can pull the dark energy
Kinda
to
what we do.
manipulate the mind for negative emotions such as rage, fear, or hatred.
yes.
So I
So
want to
it's-
try and pull it so that I become the hunter that I witnessed. I just want to form it to kind of create that image as I kind of pull my weapon on it.
Perfect.
Cast childhood trauma.
Perfect.
Yo, Wolf,
Oh,
geez,
God.
I got dark.
I got real dark. So,
PTSD triggers.
so
Hello?
Nico, here's what you have to do for this. You have to take a point of strain. You have to flip your light side destiny point over to me. And you have to take 1 point of conflict.
Okay, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
And as this happens,
That is definitely cold-blooded.
this wolf almost looks like it's about ready to go ballistic. like its eyes glow beaming red, almost drowning out the blue light that's cascading in this room. Now the room is bathed in purple because there's so much red and blue like fighting for existence within this chamber that they're merging as a light
Metaphor.
source together. It's a huge metaphor, MG. So it's almost like his channeling of the dark side has actually enraged the beast even more.
Oh. Nope. This is bad, you guys. This is bad.
Lip, you do have a maneuver if you'd like to use it.
Oh,
Run!
I have a feeling this thing's coming straight for you every time now.
He looks around,
Oh
he's like, yep. He's gonna just moonwalk backwards.
It gets an attack of opportunity.
You can go ahead and position your token as where within a reasonable distance you would move to.
You know what?
Imagine kind of like D&D rules, like short
Down
range
this
is kind of like
tunnel.
30 feet average, give or take, you know.
I'd
You can't just
stand
magically
right-
say, "Hey, I'm at the temple, chilling on the couch."
I just wanna get right
He's on the YT
behind-
1300.
You were gonna do that.
Sit in the couch.
Hey guys, I'll be in the truck.
I just slowly back behind Tizo. Just kind of.
Well played.
You're up next, buddy.
All right, that brings us to another NPC. These ice wolves on the right side.
Uh-oh.
These are what are called in the game as a minion group. They kind of work like swarm rules in D&D. So they're
Okay.
kind of like together. So they act together, they attack together, they move together. And the more you do damage to them, the less wolves are part of that group. Okay? So just so you guys know, honestly, it's awesome for GMs. It makes our life a lot easier.
Sounds like it.
So these ice wolves rush past the mother towards Dran.
Okay.
And they are both going to make an attack as they're all snarling teeth coming right to Dran.
Alrighty. Yeah, bring it on.
Do they have any setbacks or anything right here, Dran?
Not that I'm aware of. I can't think of anything I have. I just have soak because of my heavy clothes.
Well, you were also. Here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and give him a setback because I think you weren't standing out in the middle of the room.
Oh, I'm stealth. What does
Yeah.
that do? Yeah.
I'm just gonna add a setback die to their attack.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
So here comes their teeth as they come snarling at you.
That
Oh,
hits.
they're going to hit. So 7 total damage, reduced by.
That first one's 7 soaked by 3, so it's 4.
And
okay.
also, well, you ignore 1 soak, right? Because they have pierce 1.
Oh, they have pierced.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take 5. Yeah.
Like 5 wounds. And they
Wounds.
suffer 2 threat. So what I'm going to spend those 2 threat on is they are actually going to. Minion groups don't suffer strain, so it goes right to their wounds. So they're going to suffer 2 wounds.
Oh wow. Now, because they're like a group, do I actually take like double the damage or anything, or is that already baked into their
It's
design?
already in the design. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Interesting. That's super easy.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like they're just one enemy, kind of. All right, so
Thanks,
that's the
Fancy.
second NPC group. That brings us to our next PC.
Well, I guess, yeah. Nico's pushing me forward, so I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I'm gonna move up to the Den Mother.
I do say, as if I can, as a free action, you may not want to hurt it, if that makes any sense.
Okay. I don't know if I would listen to that. I'm just gonna run up and attack it. It looks like it's crazy. It's hurting people. It needs to go.
Okay.
So
Your engaged attack is going to be 2 purple, and don't forget your black setback die for being afraid.
that marked already. Yikes.
Oof. Yeah, you come across, as you're stepping forward, you slip on an animal carcass on the floor. and your lightsaber just hits the ground right next to the den mother, and she snarls in your face as you stumble to the ground almost. What is your advantage going to be spent on, though?
The next person can. I don't have any strain, so the next person can add a blue to their check.
A boost coming to the next person up. That brings us to the next group. This minion group up above, they really are looking towards Nico, but the fact that Raven's kind of standing in the way, it makes them all kind of come up towards Raven. So that group is headed towards Raven. And
Yeah.
they're gonna.
I'm a tank. It's fine.
They're gonna start trying to bite you. So here.
I am definitely not a tank.
So I believe this is the same check. 2 purple and 1 black. Does that sound right, Raven?
Yeah, I have one defense.
1 defense. You got it. Okay, here comes their attack. Ooh, and they are successful as well. That's only 6 though, and they have Pierce 1, so you ignore 1 of your soak, Raven.
So I have
These things are
3
no
soak
joke.
left.
So 3 soak means
Oh, it just
you'll
takes-
take 3 wounds.
It takes it permanently. It takes your soak permanently.
No. It's just
No,
that
just
attack
for the it pierces
your
through the soak.
pierces through the soak.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and a threat. They are going to take a point of strain in the process, which turns out to be a wound for them.
Because I fight.
One of them kind
I
of
punch one in the nose.
cuts his gum on the metal of your armor as it's trying to rip through you.
Eat this.
That ends their turn, bringing us to our final PC slot. At the bottom.
Second to final, right?
Oh yeah, because
No, yeah.
Dren still has to go. Or
Yeah.
Raven?
Yeah, he's the last one, I believe.
Has
Right?
Raven gone yet?
Yeah, Raven's gone.
Yeah, Raven was the first.
Yep. This is
Oh,
we're on the
that's right,
last-
that's right, that's
we're on the
right.
last slot. Yep.
Okay, then
That's
I'm
Jan.
going to I'm gonna try to back away from. I don't provoke any. There's no attack of opportunity in this, right?
Nope.
I'm gonna back just a moment away, just give myself a little clearance, and I'm actually gonna aim at the broodmother here. Set my blaster to stun and fire at
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
her. Yeah. So then I'm gonna bring out my.
I think that's 1 purple for that range.
Okay, 1 purple at that range, and I also have 2 blacks because it's what is it? I'm
You're frightened.
afraid, and also my blaster, the nature of
The
it.
nature
it
of
has
your blaster
a black
has
die.
a natural black
Yeah.
die. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am in here clicking to see what happens, and
Oh!
Wow.
Ah, shit!
oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but then 2 threats,
And a
but also a
And a
triumph?
triumph.
What does a triumph do?
It's like a crit.
Yeah.
It's like a natural 20
It's
on,
like a natural
on the
20.
D20.
Let me double check this.
Oh!
So 8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
11, 12. Let me double check her soak. Well, this is stun setting you put it on, right? Yeah. So this is going against the strain. And soak, I don't think... Well, I think soak does on blasters on stun, yeah. So 5... that's 7 points off of the strain. She is not knocked down.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
But
Wow.
you make an impact. Do you want to expend that? Oh wait, that a triumph counts as a success too. So it'd be 8 total strain.
Okay. And I guess you can't crit on a stun, I guess, right? That's like or you can't get a wound on a stun. Yeah, critical.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you can
Whatever
get
it
a
is.
critical on a stun. Yeah, blast.
Yeah.
What would you like to? What would you like to do with your triumph?
Because I guess I'm trying to like knock some sense into this beast and bring it back to being a beast
Here-
and not whatever
Here's one thing.
hate it's driven.
Now, here's one thing you can do. You can use
Yeah,
the
yeah.
triumph to make the Den Mother's next check have an upgraded difficulty.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm trying to shake this thing's resolve.
Okay. Remind me of that once we get there. As well.
Okay. Okay.
And I believe somebody did hit the Den Mother too, so she should have... I don't know why her token is not linked up correctly. Yes, she should have 8 there too. Yeah, that's better.
I blow the smoke out of my blaster.
Direct hit.
And turn. Yeah.
There were 2 threat on that. We didn't expend those.
Toward me.
Towards you. Yeah, you're going to your next action will have a black setback die for those 2 threat.
Gotcha.
So basically, you see a few sparks like occur from your blaster with all the modification that you made with it.
Yeah. So I have 3 black die on my next roll. Got it. This thing's gonna
explode in your hand.
Yeah.
Top of the round. The top of the round. Any PC that would like to go?
If you guys need to do anything, it's fine. I had something planned, but I can do that whenever.
All I'm gonna do is attack the dumb mother. So
I will want to go before Tizo. Then.
okay.
Okay, then who wants to go?
Nico, you just go. Since you have something
Yeah.
planned.
Yeah, if you have something
Yeah.
planned, go, because I'm
Yep.
just also going to hit to kill. So
I don't know. Wait, so I wouldn't even be able to use my force. Would I?
You wouldn't?
If I don't have any more in the light pool, it will automatically be dark? Is that how that works?
No, if you roll a dark side point, you won't be able to use it. You'd have to roll a light side point because you don't have any destiny to flip over to me.
Oh, to flip over.
Yeah, so you cannot draw from the dark side right now.
So I'm gonna try. It may just fail then, but I'm gonna try and see if I can manipulate the brute mother, the dark mother's mind again.
Okay. We saw how well that happened. How well that
Yeah,
went the
right.
first time, right?
Great. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
She's all rattled now. I gave her a good blast.
Okay, here we go.
oh, Bundy, no!
Oh no.
Oh, geez.
This is not
see that-
going well.
This time he's trying to he's trying to focus his mind. He's getting a bit of a headache, but he tries to think cooling thoughts like the dripping water for the mother, but he looks up and he keeps on seeing the flashes of the hunter that he already created, and the hunter just gets bigger. He's like, no, don't do that.
And the den mother's eyes are kind of glaring over Tizo's shoulders, just staring at you. Like, why is this person standing in my way? I want to eat that person.
I'm doing a bad.
How would you like to use your maneuver?
Run. Nico, please.
That messed up what I was gonna initially do too.
Nico.
I'm going to you know what? I hate to do this, but can I prep and aim for the next turn just in case? Because I know where that's headed.
Yeah, you can.
So I'm gonna prep and aim.
So
at
basically the way
things
that
next
works
time
is if
something
you
cookie.
aim, if you use your maneuver to aim, and you hold on to it, the next time around, if you aim again as your maneuver, it adds 2 blue boost dice to your roll.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Oh.
Awesome.
Because it's basically you're
So you
taking
can aim for 10 turns.
you're taking
Yeah.
you're
My
taking
thing.
extra time
Yeah.
With the aim.
to aim. But remember, if you fire at something that's right in your face, it's a upgraded difficulty.
Right. And is this so the aim then I would have to declare the target too?
In a way, I'll kind of be flexible with that. It's more narrative than anything else.
Okay.
Humble and merciful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you got to think about it in real time. This stuff would be happening like this, it's,
very, very fast.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that police officer train.
The den mother's gonna go, and she's going to try to bite Tizo in front of her.
Remember, she's got some kind of
I have
disadvantage here.
Upgraded.
I also got with the experience. I took the dodge thing. If targeted by a combat check, before a dodge and whatever that word is, the free action thing to suffer a number of strain
Incidental?
no greater than your ranks. Yes, that.
Okay.
So I suffer 1 strain, and they have then upgrade the difficulty of the check by that number, which is 1.
Okay, so this is going to be
Oh, 2.
upgraded 2 then,
Yeah.
because of what's happening. So that's 2 purple. There's no. I'm just going to clear it because there's no setback here because So we're 2 purple, and they're both upgraded to challenge dice.
Oof.
Okay, I think that's it. And here comes the teeth and claws as they're coming at you. It does not succeed. You dodge. You successfully dodge out of the way.
With those nice traffic lights. Red means stop. Green, yield. Don't even try next time.
So, an advantage.
Green, go away from me.
Green, go away.
For her advantage, she's going to heal a point of strain. So she's going to get rid of one of those strain that she suffered from the stun blast. And that, actually, she is also going to shift a bit and stand right above the holocron on the side of Tizo.
I knew you were
and
gonna do that.
Stare right at Nico.
I knew that was gonna happen.
That brings us
Surprisingly
to...
enough, me and his mother have a mental connection with each other.
That brings us to our second PC.
Oh, I mean, I'll go if no one else wants to. I'm just gonna step in the. So she's like, I'm in the way still of Nico,
Okay.
and I'm just going to attack with my saber. So.
Okay. Before you do that,
Okay.
Oh
I'm
no.
gonna go ahead and expend a dark side point.
Why you always do this to me?
Oh, because you know that I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna upgrade your difficulty by 1 on this check.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And,
All right, and it's still just 2 purple and my black setback.
yes,
correct.
it will do. Yep, and it'll turn.
All
And
right.
the upgrade will turn one of your purple into a red challenge die.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, this is so good.
Wow.
It's so good.
It's still good. So that's 6. That's 8 damage to the den mother that she cannot soak because it's a lightsaber.
Yep.
She's looking real rough
Friggin'
as you slice
Triumph.
through. You do have. Well, actually, the triumph counts as a success too. So she's looking real bad. Barely standing as you carve through her with this lightsaber. You do suffer. I'll say, because you're like standing near this massive pile of bones, it's hard to keep your footing here. So
Okay.
your next check, you will suffer another additional black setback die
Okay.
for your 2 threat that you rolled.
And then what can I do with the triumph? Or the triumph.
You can upgrade the difficulty of the target's next check. You can upgrade any allied character's next check. Or you can do something vital, such as shooting the controls of a nearby blast doors to seal them shut, or something else narratively can happen to give you guys an outrageous advantage of some nature.
Okay. Can I, when I attack, go for the leg and then like cut one off to make it to where it's harder for this creature to move?
Absolutely, of course.
Sweet.
Oh.
So
This story happened all over
I didn't see that vision. So.
Nico, as you see the front leg of this creature kind of fly and tumble, you can see there's a scar on the leg of what looks like it'd be a bullet hole went in and went out maybe somewhere, and it flops down into the pile of bones.
Yikes.
What have I done?
Here's what I'm gonna do. Nico, you take a point of conflict for this.
Oh boy. This is a
Oh,
rough,
that's great. That's
a
great.
rough day.
The wolves get to go. They're kind of mindless and going into rages right now, so they're just going to focus on the same targets. So Dran,
Yep.
the same group is going to come at you.
All right, let's see what
I gotta
happens.
Make sure I adjust this minion group size with this. There's only 2 in your group, so let's see if it adjusts.
They eat me.
So they have 2 purple. Is there anything that would give them a setback on this?
Not that I'm aware of.
with just 2 purple as they go to snarl and bite at you. Here comes the roll. Oh!
This might go. Let's see, it's 8, but with 1 pierce, so I can only soak 2 of that, right?
8, so you take 6 wounds.
Wow. I am looking real bad, as one could see. I'm standing, but
Oh, buddy.
as you're getting bit into, you're still kind of fighting back and kind of elbowing and things.
Yeah.
One of the wolves that's with you actually looks really like you made an impact with like an elbow, like just defending yourself, and honestly it looks like it's about ready to lose its energy and just pass out.
Gotcha.
So I'm expending the 2 threat to just give them 2 wounds.
Gotcha.
As you fight back. Next PC can go.
Oh, ass cheeks. Everyone froze. Ass cheeks.
Oh no, I hear you.
What? Excuse me?
We can hear you. Now we can see you.
Okay.
What?
Sorry. This is what happens when I spend too much time with Wednesdays. And Wednesdays always freezes, and that's our code word to let everyone know that we're frozen. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez.
So any
which group I'm in right now?
We've got Raven and we got Dran who are left to
Raven, you want to go?
go this round.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around hearing Dran get beat, and yeah, I'm gonna take aim at the ones hitting him.
Okay. So are you using your maneuver to aim? So that would add a blue boost, and if you already had that blue
And I have
boost from last time,
Yep, so I have 2.
and it's gonna be 1 purple die. Well, actually, you know what? Because you are engaged with,
It'll be 2.
I think it might be upgraded difficulty.
You're also, I don't know if you have the same rules too, but if the 2 of them are in melee, it will be an upgraded difficulty for them too.
Oh yes. Here's what we'll say. We'll say do 1 purple die, but do 1 upgrade.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how a 2 upgrade on a 1 difficulty is going to be. I don't know how that would work.
All right.
We'll just do it that way for now, and I'll have to double check the rules on that later. Oh, we didn't roll anything on the red dice.
Wow.
Rolled nothing.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So that's.
Oh my god, Raven, please say that you use this.
Please say what?
You use the stun setting.
On the wolves? On the small wolves?
Oh god, we're just gonna just create nothing but death and death.
Raven, you can describe how you destroy both of these wolves that are assaulting Dran.
Ow.
Oh no!
She destroys their ass cheeks.
Yep, that's what hurts.
Okay. We're back.
That's rated R.
Oh god.
You can go ahead and describe how you destroy these 2 wolves.
One ass cheek out the other.
Wait. How does that even work?
It's Star Wars. There's a lot of questions that don't have really many answers, so we'll go with it. You guys hear yelps from these wolves as they are blasted.
Shooting puppies.
Raven, you do have 2 advantage that you can use if you'd like to use them.
Just flip it to stun right before you shoot.
I'll give Dran the next one.
Okay.
So sorry.
Dran gets the next.
This is death.
Dran gets a boost.
I
Is that
apologize.
what you did?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Dran, make sure you put on your mark somewhere that you have a boost. Alright. So after Raven goes, these wolves that are next to Raven, I'm gonna keep on trying to bite at her. So they are going to 2 purple and I believe 1 black setback because of her armor.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So that will, their minion group is still at a level 3, so they still have 3 biting at you. And here comes the roll against Raven. They just fail. They just miss.
Oh.
As they're jumping towards you, you're just dodging back and forth, and they're unable to make contact with you. And that ends their turn, bringing us to the next PC, which I believe was Dran. Is he the last one to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the last one, and I've got all kinds of. My blaster is red hot right now, smoking, but I have a moment advantage. So I'm gonna aim at the Den Mother, and I think I'm still unstunned, but I'm gonna send one her way.
Okay, he's still on
We'll
stun
see how this
setting. Don't forget, I
goes.
think you have 3 setback, but you do have a blue from.
I have 3
from
setback,
Raven.
with 2 blue, one from
blue.
aiming and one from Raven.
Gotcha,
So
yeah.
well, this
And
is
you can
a
also
wild
aim
roll.
again, can't you?
You could.
Well, I'm aiming just now.
Okay,
so-
yeah,
so
so
that's
that's-
good.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So that's
let's see, soak
potentially
shot.
9.
It's only going to.
Stun.
Yeah, she got soak, so it's only going to do 4.
Oh, no.
So she is
She got a lot of soak on stun.
She's not put down, but she looks weary.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh,
you,
no.
And you have,
Oh, no.
And you have 1 advantage. You can use to.
Please.
Pass it on to the next
Pass
person.
it on.
End turn.
Okay, pass it on to the
Oh.
first
Watch out.
person that goes. So whoever goes next is going to have a blue boost die, gaining the advantage of this
yeah.
creature being somewhat stunned by the next impact from
She's got
Duran.
30. Yeah.
I really want to go before Tiza.
Yeah, I'm just going to attack. If you want to go first, go right ahead.
You can see the dead mother is just limping a little with now missing one of her front limbs. But she's still snarling, red eyes glaring towards Nico, trying to look around
I
Tizo.
can't use the blue dice for the force, though. The blue dice doesn't mean anything for the force, right?
Not
what?
technically,
No,
but
I
to
don't-
do what you're
Oh,
doing,
hello?
what I would do is I'd have you roll the force die first, and if you roll a light side, I'll let you use the force, but I'm going to have you make a check.
Okay.
Because you're doing something a little bit different, so.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, we do have a light side point, so you could use it even if it's dark. It's just gonna enrage it, though.
Oh, could I?
We have one of the light side points left.
Yeah,
Back.
light side, right?
Yeah, you can use it now, because I used one of my dark sides, so you have a light
I
side.
can use it instead.
You can use that dark side now.
I will use it because we need this so bad.
Okay, so I need you to switch that light side over to me again. I need you to take a conflict point and a point of strain.
Oh no.
God.
Oh god, that's 4. I hate the scrolls.
I'm learning that Nico is very stubborn.
It's-
Really?
He's like, I'm doing this. I got
I
this.
have to do this. I have to fix this.
okay, so here's what I want you to do. Here's what you're gonna do. You are going to make for me a discipline check. Okay.
No.
Now you get
Next person has a blue. Next person has a blue.
you have a
You get
boost,
blue.
Oh.
and you're gonna make this against an average difficulty, which is 2 purple.
Okay.
Because, well, I can't do that. No, we'll go with that. Yeah, 2 purple. You get a blue. You also have a black setback for being afraid, I believe.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
here's what I'm gonna do. Since you used a point of force for this, that 1 force that you rolled will be counted as an automatic success on this check.
Oh, that's good.
So you have no.
That is really
so
good,
you have no
actually.
way of technically. Well, you do have a way of failing if you roll.
With failing.
if you roll more
Yeah, because
Yeah.
failures, because it's only gonna. Because if you roll more failures, it's gonna just cancel out.
Yeah. Okay.
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 So much tension. This whole beginning of the episode has been very tense.
I'm afraid to press this button right now.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Cancel out the last one. I still have the.
Well, basically,
force.
what'll
I still have the
happen
force
is
in it.
what'll happen is that black dot will be canceled by one of those successes. So you got one success, one net success, and one threat. I'm gonna count the threat is strain against you for doing this. Pulling from
Okay,
the force
I'll
and
take
using
it.
the dark side, you hear those whispers, those dark whispers in your mind as you begin to focus. And you notice this creature start to like back away from Tizo a little bit. It blinks its eyes, and when it opens its eyes again, you don't see the red glow that you saw before. And Tizo, you're all watching, and some strange feeling overcomes all of you. And you watch these black, weird tendrils zap out like webs almost out of her and stick to the walls. And then bleed into the wall. And then another one from the other side hits the wall and then just bleeds in. And then all these black tendrils just start to zap off of her into the walls, into the ceiling, into the ground beneath you. And then you just hear.
I want to run over to the mother.
I mean, at this point,
I'm
it might
like-
have just been better just to actually kill you, but, you know.
Just shoved his out of the way.
As you go to run towards her, it looks like she just gets really scared and begins to run off as best as she can with only 3 limbs. She's like tripping over some, and you notice the other pack of wolves that have been trying to bite and gnaw into Raven run after her. And that, folks, is going to take us out of our encounter.
You can get her a cybernetic leg. It's okay.
Nico falls to the ground, and you just see him heaving.
And Dran is like leaning against the wall with like a massive dog bite. Like,
Oh wow, Dran's hurt. He is hurt.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just put these tokens on another layer as they disappear. And I'm gonna take the music out of intimidating encounter music.
Even in panic, Nico is still kind of reaching for the holocron in front of him. God, this is really stressful. Let me just hold on to this really quick.
I will walk up and put my hand onto Nico's shoulder as he's kneeling there.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what you did, but maybe the right choice was to actually. Looks like the corruption escaped the walls, so that just might go into something else.
We give me a minute. We need to probably find a source to where this darkness is going.
I go over to Dran and hit him with a stim.
Oh, where'd that come from?
He gets one wound, he drops, he comes back to life.
What did this
So,
heal?
Dran, you
I think you
heal
get
5
5.
wounds back instantly.
Wow.
As the medication just
Yeah, it's
fills
fun.
your veins.
It's fun.
It fills your bloodstream.
Thanks. Whew.
You good?
Better. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Nico, you're holding on to the holocron. What would you guys like to do next?
I forget. Did Dran get a crystal already?
I haven't
Or-
gotten a crystal
okay.
yet.
He hasn't. He's still looking over, catching that one out of the corner of his eye that called out to him when he entered the chamber.
Well, I thought we came here and got what we wanted. think we should probably just leave the cave unless you're still
But before we go,
Doc, if you wanna.
my curiosity's getting the best of me here.
What's that? Curiosity?
I mean, I can't back down if you're.
just like, what's up?
I don't want to look like a, wuss. I'm gonna keep
talking about Dr.
from
Dre.
where I crunched a bone. I'm gonna take another step.
Okay.
More wolves.
Nope. You don't hear anything.
I keep going.
Okay. Sure. You head up to the crystal. It
Yeah.
seems to be glowing and pulsating with that blue glow. As you take hold of the crystal, Dran,
Mm-hmm.
a vision overcomes you. You're back in that battlefield. Smoke just billowing all around you. You see a figure approaching you, silhouetted through the smoke, stepping over fallen trees. You can't tell who it is, but you can tell something is coming your direction. You quickly stand to your feet and reach towards your belt, and you pull out what looks to be a lightsaber. And as you press the button to ignite it, what color does it emulate, MG?
I think it'd probably be green.
Green.
Yeah.
Your face is cascaded in green light as you see this figure approach, and then you see a red lightsaber ignite within the fog. And as the green and the red come together, you hear a crashing of lightsabers. And then you hear, "No, no, 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 no," echo in your mind. And the last thing as this vision fades that you hear is, and you're still holding on to the crystal.
What you see?
Maybe we should get out of here.
I think that is the right choice, Doc.
Hey,
Clutch crystal,
Tizo,
and I'm.
you think that we could somehow pull the Dark Force out of this space?
There might be ways, but I think it's in balance right now, and I think it should stay that way.
Well, I'll tell you this. That thing keeps on getting a hold of those wolves. The darkness is going to start taking over much more than just those hunters we saw.
And if it does, we'll come back and put a stop to it another time.
All right. Let's make our way out of here.
Okay. You guys make your way out of the caves and out into the forest. Back to the temple without any difficulty. And as you get to the temple, you are greeted by what you now know as the curator, as he projects himself upon the steps as you guys rise up. And he greets you with an ecstatic expression on his face. You have done well. Please, bring the holocron to the chamber this way. It must be fit within its housing to function properly.
All right.
And
We'll follow.
you make your way into a chamber. And I'm going to go back to the map so you guys can see. I made the temple map all open for you guys, so you guys will be able to see everything. There is a place called a holocron chamber to the right side of the temple there that was hidden within some caves on the outside of the temple. Hidden so that, people couldn't find it. So he leads you into that chamber, and there is a central holocron chamber where his is in a kind of like almost like a stasis field, this blue energy field it's held in place. And there's one to the left and one to the right. And he points to the one to the left and indicates that is the proper location for the holocron.
I put it in its place.
Okay. There's a soft click as the holocron slides snugly into place. Your task has been completed. And a moment later, you notice that the humming of generators coming online seem to fill the area around you as these long dormant systems begin to activate. The fierce-looking gatekeeper you saw in the caves manifests beside the curator. But this time, a wide smile replaces that harsh expression you saw initially. My thanks to you. It is good to be within the Dawn Temple once more, and to return to the charge I was forced to leave unguarded. My duties must be resumed, and it is thanks to you that this is possible. Unfortunately, without the third gatekeeper, my knowledge does remain limited. But I will teach you what I know, if you shall wish.
I will give a small bow and say, of course.
Her expression turns somewhat stern once again as you do this, Tizo. But her smile remains. My lessons are not for the weak of body, mind, or spirit. I do not think that it is a concern for all of you, as I have seen your heart. But even a warden such as myself cannot protect you from your own failings. She kind of casts a little bit of a look at Nico. Be sure to make yourselves ready for the challenges to come, for the last gatekeeper must be restored to this temple. This temple must not remain dormant any longer.
I should admit that, my curiosity gets the best of me at sometimes, and I don't have the best sense of discipline that were. Maybe we'll work on that over time.
She looks at you and says, "We shall. Discipline is something that can be learned."
Well, we got our next mission, y'all. Oh God, Southern is coming out of me.
What were all those sounds when the holocron plugged in?
I'm glad you brought that up. Those were the internal security systems trying to engage for this temple. It appears that some of them are malfunctioning, unfortunately. Perhaps maybe one of you or all of you could even work to restore these defense mechanisms of this temple.
What type of generator are you running on?
Unfortunately, my memory of the specs is clouded without the third gatekeeper present. But with my holocron in place, the door has been revealed to the security chamber sector on the subfloor of this temple.
I'll go router around that tin can, no problem.
Just like that piece of junk ship out there.
That was the end of Dungeon
So what I wanted to get here before we took the break, but but it's okay. I'm gonna describe to you guys some kind of game mechanics things that's gonna happen here. Basically, what happened when you put that holocron in its position, a secret door was revealed behind the assembly hall. It's not on the map. That led to an elevator that took you down to subfloor 1. Which opens up into this massive, what looks to be like, imagine like a futuristic garage. There's like a lot of computers and technical things. There's tables to fix things and build things. There's a lot of things. It looks like the inner workings of what was the mechanics that were running this temple from below. Yeah. Like, it's not really cosmetic like the top floor is, but it's all strictly business down here. So the first thing that happens is you all get 10 experience points.
Yes.
that you can either spend immediately or save, your choice. Okay? Yeah. The second thing that happens is because now you have access to this chamber, you guys are going to be able to make a check to restore the defenses of the temple. It's either going to be computers or mechanics. And anybody can aid that person in the check and add a blue boost dice. Now, the check, basically you have to designate that you're going to do this all day. You're going to expend a day working on these systems. And that check is going to constitute a day worth of work. The gatekeepers do tell you that they are working extensively to see if they can figure out information to discover the location of the final holocron. So you do have time in this instance that you could help them restore the defenses of the temple. And as Tizo walks downstairs, you start plinking around at one of the corners of the room and notice a workstation with a lot of drawers and different things. You start clicking some buttons and opening some of the drawers, and you're like, wait a minute. I know this. These are all lightsaber parts. There's a station down here to construct your own lightsabers. And the warden knows how to teach you how to make your own lightsaber.
Oh, dope.
So basically what would happen is we don't have to role play this entire downtime. Hey, thanks, Victoria Brown is here, the Bitcoin. Dropping some bits, thank you. So basically we're not going to role play all this out because it could be like a week of downtime if you wanted it to be. But at this point, you guys can make your own lightsaber. It doesn't cost you any money.
Wow.
You all have a crystal. But the only lightsaber you can get is basically the basic lightsaber out of the book.
Gotcha.
So that's the limitation. And this includes Tizo. Even though you already have one, you could build like a single bladed like regular lightsaber at this table.
He got like a light dagger.
He just has
I was just gonna ask.
lightsabers, like dual ones.
You can dual wield lightsabers.
Yeah.
So you can have 2 lightsabers, but for this instance, there's only probably enough of the materials for each of you to make one.
Would and this is something that Nico will want to ask, is there a way to kind of use this energy to make something not a saber but like modify a weapon of a gun or so?
There are materials here that you could use to modify one of your guns. That's the other thing. The 500 credits that I was telling you guys out of game, there are 500 credits worth of materials here for each of you to spend on gear. So it's not like you have 500 credits in your pocket, but you can spend up to 500 credits of the equivalent materials, because they wouldn't have money here, but they would have supplies. So if there's any supplies or any upgrades or modifications that you'd like to do, you could probably find that or use the parts related for that to modify those things,
Okay.
Gotcha.
if that makes sense. Also, the warden, because it's a holocron, gives each of you 2 career skills now.
What?
What?
So
What?
you guys can add lightsaber career skill to your character sheet, so you can check it off if you didn't already have it.
Oh yeah.
And you can add knowledge lore to your career skills. You don't get any free ranks in them, but it makes it so that you can buy them cheaper.
Lightsaber,
Wow.
and what's the other one?
Knowledge
Knowledge
lore.
war.
Okay.
Wow.
Dope.
Wow.
So basically at this point, you guys can decide if you want to spend your experience points.
Yeah.
You guys can build your lightsabers. They can be whatever color on the cool spectrum that you'd like, up from basically from yellow greenish to magenta.
Wow. I'm definitely gonna build a lightsaber.
Okay. It would probably take each of you a day
A day.
to build lightsabers. So if all of you build a lightsaber, it would take 4 days out of our downtime.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. So it's like,
Mhm.
because
One
I
person
want to
at a
build a
time.
lightsaber.
Yeah. What was that, MG?
I want to help. I want to either help or lead some of the repairs of the security, depending on what Nico's up to. It's probably a team effort there.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then-
I will help out.
And then I've got some weapon modding to do, maybe.
Okay.
Yep.
Depending on how long we're all comfortable staying here and do it while we gather info in the next temple or whatever.
You all have to figure out, because Nico has every intention to spend the rest of his life in this space.
The only thing I would want to do is make a lightsaber, of course.
Okay.
And other than that, just do some like your basic like training and stuff while we're waiting. I'm terrible with computers and stuff like that, so I'm not helping with that. I'd probably just be more of a hindrance. So yeah, he's just doing some after making the lightsaber, he's just doing like some training, some meditation, that kind of stuff. So
Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah, I would take some time to kind of go to my mentor and just be like, teach me how to not be so like me.
Perfect. Raven, is there anything in particular that you would like to do during this time?
Sorry, I'm just looking at all my skills and stuff and what I have available.
Sure.
Probably doing the lightsaber thing.
Okay. Each of you, don't forget to decide on a color you choose for your lightsaber as you refine this crystal that you found in the caves.
Do we know any lore about like what those colors mean? Is it like your birthstone, where it's like you're born in January, you're a diamond? Like,
Tizo would probably, with the help of your mentor, would tell you that it really comes from the state of your heart at the time of construction and placement of the crystal. So if you find yourself as your morality is above the middle ground, it's probably going to pull towards more green and blue of a color. Whereas if you are more neutral or kind of slipping a little bit, it's probably going to pull more towards the purple magenta, because there's a little bit of that red in there.
Oh, gotcha.
When the colors mix.
Gotcha. With the green and the blue, is it like a warrior scholar kind of thing? Like, is there a thing there? Or?
I think in Star Wars lore, I think there is. I think like Yoda's was green because he was that like counselor type.
it's yeah, knights are typically blue,
Blue or knights, Jedi
Gotcha.
Knights.
or guardians
Guardians.
would be
Yeah.
typically blue, and then like
Gotcha.
counselors would be green normally.
Gotcha. I might lean green then. I'm probably looking because it's a green one.
Okay.
Mine would be a purple one, of course.
Okay.
Mine's probably a combo of blue and green, so it's kind of like
A turquoise
a
color.
seafoam turquoise
Nice.
cyan
Rad.
color. Like it's like in between the green and the blue.
Absolutely, yeah. That's my favorite color. I love that color.
No.
Nico's red.
Nico's is just
Question.
I would say that
on the skills it says lightsaber and then I drop down abilities. What does that mean?
That's if you have a form, you can change what stat you use for it.
I think
Like normally it's brawn.
it's gonna be brawn for you right now. There is a
Darth Vader.
there's a way that you
Okay.
can like get it to change, but I think it's through talent trees.
It is.
So its base is gonna be brawn for you.
Mine is
it's like a
agility.
finesse weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's agility because I'm in the Ataru form
Yeah.
of lightsaber.
Yeah,
So
he uses it kind of like a finesse weapon in D&D, right?
Yeah.
It's so you get to use his agility for it.
And if it's a career skill, it's only 5 experience points to upgrade it.
It's a career skill.
The first level
First
is
level
5, the second's 10,
First
right?
level is 5,
5?
and then to buy an additional one, it would be 10 more to get to rank
10.
2.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna do something different here.
Oh, encumbrance though. This thing's a 1 encumbrance.
It is a one. It is a 1 encumbrance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's one reason why I think that Nico sees everybody making one, and because one, he just kind of realized that like this whole Jedi thing is a lot of work, and using that force is really hard, and so he's like,
Yeah.
I don't think I really honestly deserve it just yet. It's like I'll get back to that soon. Let me go and work on this gun.
Okay, so Nico, you're going to take the lead on the repairs for the temple. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dr.
I'm helping
Dran's
him.
going to help, so that's 1 blue boost.
Yeah.
Is Tizo going to help at all? Or are you going to just
not with the repairs,
Okay,
no, because
gotcha.
like I said, he's more of a hindrance than anything.
That looks broken.
Yeah, exactly.
would Raven help with any of the repairs?
It's mechanics, right?
Mechanics or
Mhm.
computers, but it doesn't
I
it doesn't really matter. All you
It
got
wouldn't matter. You would just add it.
You would just
to mine.
add a boost to his. Is basically what you would do. If you choose to help, it's totally up to you. Whether it's in your character, Raven's character, or not, that is totally up to you.
She is a gadgeteer, but she's more focused on gadgeting her shit right now. So maybe not yet. Maybe she'll help later.
Okay.
But for the first few days, I think she's trying to gadget her stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, you can make this check multiple times, but it consumes a day of your time. So basically, you know, it would if you decide to make a lightsaber, that's a day. If you decide to mod a weapon, that's a day. But the way that it works is your lightsabers all have to be made as a day, so that would be 4 days. If you're modding guns at the same time and using those 500 credits, you guys can all do that simultaneously in 1 day. So that'd be at least 5 days. So it's going to be a week probably of you guys just helping out, getting things done.
And doing this stuff.
But you guys are also waiting on the gatekeepers to see if they've got some additional knowledge to help you guys out, because no one knows where this last holocron is yet. And it could be anywhere. So, so what I need you to do, Nico, is you're going to make either a mechanics or computers check. This is going to be a hard difficulty, so it's going to be 3 purple.
Oh.
But you get to add 1 blue boost because Dr. Dran is by your side. And he's helping.
Being
you.
like a pain about it, I'm like, did you remember to check the accelerator and the modulator?
And this is all really old stuff because it's an ancient temple. So I'm going to use a dark side point.
Oh, you're using your arc welder on that? Okay.
So that's
Do
going
you
to
really need to upgrade it? That does it for me.
It's
For
gonna-
me just by itself.
it's going to upgrade your difficulty by 1, okay?
Okay.
And then you can make that roll for
I
your
would have
first
used
day.
my spanner, but okay.
First day. Here we go. Oh.
I told you to use the spanner, but I mean, you do what you want.
So, Nico, you didn't succeed. But how would you like to narrate your 3 advantage?
He's definitely still, even though things are kind of like not working, this thing seems kind of busted. Oh, this is going to take a lot longer than today to do. He's learning a little bit about how the older ancient mechanics kind of worked. And he's like, "Oh, I see what they were trying to do there. That's not how you do that at all. But I understand how they put those two things together."
Perfect. Here's what
So he's teaching us up.
So because you got those 3 advantage, your next check for the next day, you will have 2 additional boost dice on your check.
Ooh. Dope.
So, seeing that he was unsuccessful, would Tizo or Raven decide the second day to offer him assistance as he and Dr. Dran are about ready to go downstairs after a long rest?
And Dran is just making it work. He's literally just making it work.
Raven doesn't really have to. I think I would just kind of wait for Raven to be just kind of sleep one day and just kind of go into her stuff and just kind of take like a wrench here, take like this seems interesting. That could work. I can do that.
I will say,
My gadget your pack.
She's got all kinds of weird crap in there. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
it's like, what is? I haven't even ever seen this before.
That plus a hammer will equal this place being fixed.
when I see them going back down, I will just say, "Did you try turning it off and back on again?" I've heard that fixes a lot of. I heard that fixes a lot of electronical equipment, but I'm not.
Tizo goes into the holocron chamber and takes the holocron out and puts it back in.
First blue dice is him. I'm calling it. Blue dice is him.
Yes, whatever that first blue die is.
Yeah, that represents his.
Fantastic. Actually, you know what? For that information, I'm gonna upgrade your ability on this check.
That's hilarious.
So you're gonna make this second check for the second day. You're gonna make your same check, but you have 3 blue boosts because Dran is helping you, and 2 blue from discovering what you were doing wrong the first day.
Okay.
You have you have an upgrade from Tizo's knowledge of, hey, did you unplug it and plug it back in?
So that's the first yellow.
And then I'm not gonna upgrade the difficulty. I'm locked in. It's just gonna be 3 purple.
And could I steal a blue die from Raven's get it your back?
You have to like roll stealth against her or something.
You know, because you role played it out, I've already upgraded your ability.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Have you seen what her blaster carbine does or whatever? Like, smoking pair of shoes.
It's like he's like going through this backpack in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden you hear like something. You feel the cold steel press against your cheek. What are you doing?
Oh.
All right, so here we go. Mechanics. And boom.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Like, yo, one of the upgrades was a triumph. One of the upgrades was a triumph.
Oh.
Turning it off and turning it back on again.
Just turn it back on. You turn it off, turn it back on, and it fixes it.
Nico, you're like, holy crap, he was right.
Are you kidding me right now?
Okay, so here's what happens, and I'll let you take those triumph, but because you have more than 3 uncanceled successes on your roll, you have restored all of the temple's defenses, including these 3 things: hidden sentry guns.
Yes.
That can attack.
Whoa!
That it can attack all hostile creatures in range. And they have they're ranged heavy, and they can deal 8 damage at medium range. And they do have stun settings, so they can do strain. But unfortunately, these sentry guns cannot inflict critical injuries. It also activated force fields. They can be activated by spending a maneuver at a control panel, causing any attacks passing through the field to suffer 2 setback die, and inflicting 6 strain damage on anybody that attempts to pass through the field.
That's dope.
And the last
Damn.
one
Oh.
are the stasis traps that are activated when someone steps on a triggering mechanism, which can be the result of a deception check to trick someone or a despair on a challenge die on a check. These activated traps deal 20 strain damage to the target, and it locks the victim in a stasis field for the remainder of the combat.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love that. I love that so much.
This place is pretty defensible.
And
With the-
you can expend the triumphs. You have 2 of them.
That you what you explained is that's triumphant. That is very, very triumphant.
Yeah.
I would just say on top of all of that, he found a section of the system panel that allows for music customization.
Absolutely, yeah.
An ancient DJ, you notice.
Yeah.
Shout out to our Shadowrun folks.
There you go. Yeah.
He found that he
Gold
can
symbol
change
combo.
the music in any sort of room, so it's bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum,
That's
in
All the
every
biz
room.
wailing that you can deal with.
So you guys can get over your comms and PA system throughout the temple. Some happening tunes start playing, and you can you can hear the generators running at max capacity. It seems like everything is back humming online the way that
Wow.
it should be. As you guys take those 2 days to work on the temple.
You got it working. Just need a little quick bang, and he looks at his turning it off and turning it back on.
You're welcome. And I give a bow.
The force is strong in that one.
So at this point, all of you are healed back up. Your strain is no longer with you. You guys spent probably the better part of a week because it was 2 days to repair the temple. Nico, did you decide against building a lightsaber then at this point?
Yeah, for
Okay,
right now.
so
I
that's-
did, however, upgrade his blaster weapon to have a. I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sure.
It has a scope, essentially.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome. Eventually, Tizo, you find yourself meditating for a moment. Everybody's kind of regaining their thoughts and composure after the last few days, and you guys have been learning some things from the warden and the gatekeeper as well throughout the day whenever they weren't busy trying to locate this last holocron. But all of a sudden, your studies within the temple are interrupted by the voice of your old mentor, Heath and Roman, on the intercom as the radio stops playing for just a moment as she beeps in. Good news, my friends. The gatekeepers and I believe we have determined the location of the last holocron. Come join us in the Great Hall and we'll share our theory. Everybody have fun tonight.
Everybody welcome.
And copyright claim.
It's our fair use interpretation. It's we did the note up instead of the note down.
That's right.
It's a remix.
That's right.
Yeah. Fair use.
Da-na-na-na-na-na, instead of da-na-na-na-na-na.
But I've been using my time to craft a weapon harness for my blaster.
Of course. What kind of weapon harness are you crafting? How fantastic is it? Please tell us. I must know.
It is designed to allow a single sentient to field even the heaviest man-portable weapons with no support weapon harness or rare among outer rim. Worn over the shoulder and belted around the midsection or torso, weapon harness consists of a series of load-bearing straps and harnesses connected to a gyro stabilizer.
Okay.
So its power-assisted boom arm is attached to the heavy weapon, and it basically reduces my encumbrance rating by 2. It gives me an innate talent brace mod. I don't know what that means.
Oh, it braces
it's
the
five-
weapon against your body by itself, so you don't have to take the brunt of it. Like it's like a kind of like, think of a guy with like a flamethrower. You know how they have like all the support that like help them to hold this. It's kind of like a natural support for your weapon.
So it takes
Okay.
it takes some of the encumbrance off of holding. The
So
the
makes
heaviness.
it takes the heaviness from it and like distributes the weight.
Yeah.
So that way you can just worry about aiming and firing.
Perfect.
And I built a blaster actuating module onto my blaster.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm like, I added a Pierce 1 to my blaster actuator here.
Yeah.
Ooh, fantastic. You guys are
Which,
getting
yeah.
This is nice.
I took a Pierce too. We were taking. I was looking at the same thing. I was like, I want to use that Pierce thing that wolf was
Yeah.
doing to me.
Okay, so once you all assemble before Roman, the gatekeepers manifest beside her, beaming proudly. The curator speaks first. Our senses are greatly weakened beyond this valley, and much of what the planet once was has changed with time. However, your Master Roman has been informing us of the new state of Spintir, and with her information, we now understand what we have sensed before. The thieves who stole the other holocron were part of a syndicate Roman informs us operates from the city, the capital city of Spintir, known as Rellis. Tens of thousands live in the city, hiding the presence of the gatekeeper amidst the chaos of their lives and constant overflowing emotions. But it remains and can be restored if found. The warden assesses each of you with a level stare. You must travel to the capital and find the last holocron in order for the temple to return to its proper state. This temple cannot be allowed to lie fallow any longer. And you guys have a moment here with your mentor and the gatekeepers.
So, we're just gonna make our way over then.
I believe that's what it sounds like. Our next
Yeah.
mission is.
Do we know how far the capital is?
The Zabrak woman, the warden, looks at you as you say this. It is quite far from here, but with the right mode of transportation, shouldn't be much of a problem.
We're on it. Proudly chest out, start walking towards the ship.
Are you sure you want to get in that thing?
If you want to live, you stop talking about my baby phoenix.
I also just want to say that I made adjustments to my armor, so I get an additional 2 toughened for wounds.
Nice. Ooh. Tizo, as you begin to stand within the chamber, the gatekeeper looks at you and says, "You must trust in the Force, and anything can be found. Don't forget, it wouldn't hurt to investigate the thieves who took the holocron in the first place, or those among the cities of elite who might be wealthy enough to buy such a rare item."
Thank you for your wisdom. We will keep that in mind. Give us a small bow
May,
as I walk backwards.
may the Force be with you.
May the force be with you. And I'll join the other people.
Okay. Anybody else left in the chamber? guys all walking out. You're afraid Nico's gonna leave you if you don't, right?
I just gather the rest of my newly gadgeteered items and follow the rest, not really saying much.
Okay. Perfect.
As you get on the ship, he's like, "Oh, I took this doohickey from you."
What? Bloody!
It's not broken.
You touch my things again, you are also going to lose a hand.
Touch your stuff again? All right, sure thing. Just buckle up.
I'm gonna go down to the turret. I'll see you all
My
later.
fingers are just itching for my new lightsaber. I'm just. Don't touch my shit.
Yep, I can't quite hear him. Too busy listening to the engine.
I'm pissed.
I'm gonna take you guys over to another map and roll 20 so you guys can see. Now I'm gonna let you guys decide, but I have a feeling what you're going to choose. Here is the layout of your ship. Now, the one at the top is specifically made for freights. So if you want this to be more of a freighter, it has more storage for like holding things.
Oh, dope.
The one at the bottom is more for like passengers, which is more like what the Millennium Falcon is in Star Wars. So you'll notice the little table that has like the gaming system and number 10 there at the bottom, you know, like Chewbacca loved. And you know, you've got you've got all these places where you can sleep. There's a lot more beds in the second one at the bottom. We can always do like a modification, customization of this thing where it's like we're deciding together with all of us what you would like this ship to be, because I'm not going to say
there are difference in weapons and systems, and
basically the statistics in them are all going to be the same other than its capacity to carry things.
Okay.
That's the only difference it's going to apply. Like the freighter is going to be it's going to be able to carry probably a lot more encumbrance. But
yeah,
but it's probably not going to move as fast or as well.
If you load it down, it probably won't move as fast, and there's not as many places like you guys would have to sleep in shifts and share beds and things like that. Whereas the one at the bottom, plenty of places to sleep. You guys have your own rooms, such. So.
I vote that one.
yeah.
Super's fine.
I need my own room. I need a pass lock. I don't need people coming into my shit again.
I think that's been decided. Yep.
A special lock on my door. Is that possible?
Now, also,
I'll be sure to build that lock for you.
Also, keep in mind that the bottom one does have number 12 on there is a cargo hold. Number 11 is basically an extension of that cargo hold. And number 13 is kind of like the engine room area, but there's still some places there that you could actually like store things in as well. So it's not like it's going to hinder you to have this one over the other regardless. But if you wanted, like if you got like a speeder bike and you wanted to take it, you probably only take one or two on the bottom one, but you'd be able to take like as many for everybody on the top one, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
As soon as Tizo got on here, he went around, like basically ran around the whole ship to look at what was here, and then claimed one of the rooms as his own.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna claim the first one that he probably would have came to.
You know what you guys can do? You guys can use a text tool on the map and just write. You can write Tizo's room on there, Tizo, if you want to claim it, as you throw your bag down on one of the beds. And then,
I'm going around shaking my head at all the engineering, be like, this thing's never even gonna fly. This is nonsense.
so good. What a hunk of crap.
I'm just gonna put a bi-colored dot there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can. If you guys put colored dots, I can go in and write it in later if you need me to.
Does this thing even have a hyperspace module? Or is it thing
That's where I put Dr. Dren.
He's putting his interlock and just
it's the scene from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with DJ Jazzy Jeff just flying out the door.
Yes.
It's Dr. So, you enter your ship. You head your way towards the cockpit,
Yes.
and Nico, you have a seat, and it feels comfortable. It feels like home.
He has this nice little little car dice at the top.
He puts a little car dice at the top around the rear view that makes no sense of having in this particular ship. And the controls are ahead of you. Now, the way I'm going to do this, Nico, is to fly this thing. You're a pilot. You'd have experience flying things like this before. Now, since you're not in any duress, you're not going to have to make a check to fly this thing at all. Like, you can lift it off, take it off, no problem, because of your knowledge. If you were to do something like get into a firefight, or try to do things, or say, I'm going to do a barrel roll,
I'm glad you said that now.
then there will be checks involved, because you're trying to do something that, is a little bit... This is a freighter ship. So, I know they do it in the movies, but it's really difficult to do a barrel roll in a freighter. So,
yes.
But
it's funny you said that, because as soon as you mentioned it, I was looking at my ability to go full throttle, and I was like, I wonder if I could just hit the max as we take off.
you can try. You want to?
Instantly
you wanna gun
crash.
it? So you're lifting off. You guys feel the weight kind of just shifting back and forth as this
Where's my
begins to
seatbelt?
take off.
Oh yeah,
Are you?
I wait for everybody to buckle up, and then I will want to try and I will build up to top speed. I wouldn't obviously just gear it to top speed right away.
Sure, yeah. So as you start to move the throttle forward, you can feel the pressure leaning you back in the chair as you guys begin to take off to the sky. Aniko, that you would not have to go out of the atmosphere of this planet to reach the capital. Like, you're not going to have to go into space. But it's going to be kind of like flying on an airplane kind of thing. You can just go high up, fly.
Then definitely not full throttle.
Planetary or is it space for flying right now?
Well, because it's a space craft, it's considered space.
Okay.
But he's not going to be going into space.
Gotcha.
He's using it kind of like as a glorified air speeder right now, is what we're doing. And you fly,
which is why full throttle is a bad idea.
And you were given the coordinates to Rellis from the gatekeepers. So the coordinates, you locked in your coordinates to the capital, and you've got your sensors up. You've got your maps and ship levels. All this ship is actually in really good condition. So whoever had it before you has really kept it in really good shape. It is old, but it's in good shape. And you guys begin to take off and head there. It only takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes to get there.
Nice.
As you guys are flying.
Nice.
And you notice there is a large city that you come across. Obviously, tens of thousands of people live here. You found out from the gatekeepers, this is the only city on the planet Spintier. There is only one. Most of this planet is kind of like the area that you just came from. There are some villages spread across, but it's mostly wilds. And as you pull in, you can see there is a spaceport, a starport, but it's a very small spaceport. And all of a sudden, you get a beeping coming in on your console.
This is the Phoenix. What's your report?
Phoenix, we're looking for we're going to have a docking bay ready for you. You just need to go in through your computer system and decide which docking bay you would like to choose. We have elite class, we have premium class, and we have the basic package. Which would you like? And it has costs associated. So the basic is 25 credits for 3 days. The premium is 50 credits for 3 days. and the elite is 100 credits for 3 days. And basically what the elite includes is it's going to pressure wash your ship during its stay. It will have
Nice.
It will have security droids located within the hangar bay to support, and it will also include a refueling of your ship. The premium includes also, it just basically what the premium does is it decreases the amount of security droids that will be located within the bay. And the basic package gives you 1 security droid, no refueling, and what they consider the basic pressure washing package, which is basically the whenever you go to drive through like the car washes, it's like the it's the $5 option at the bottom. It just hoses off your car.
We'll take premium. I'll be sleeping inside, so we won't need as much security.
But the docking bay is open. You'll be going to docking bay 16.
Right. Full throttle. Report out.
Okay.
Throttle into it. Oh, Jesus.
Light speed into the docking bay.
Really dangerous. That's the worst thing you can do.
That's how you get tickets.
Yeah.
That's how you get tickets. That's how you get attacked.
You want tickets? That's how you get tickets.
So you guys land in.
Please keep your
You
20.
you find bay 16, and you land, and immediately after exiting the Phoenix, you are greeted by a human individual, kind of wrapped up. He's got kind of like a scarf on, and seems to be wearing some kind of a hat of some sort to protect himself from any weather. And he approaches. Welcome, Phoenix. Welcome. We've got everything ready to go for your refueling and for your ship maintenance. If you don't mind coming this way, we need to transfer the funds at the main gate, and we'll take it from here.
Understandable.
What brings you to Rellis?
We're on scout duty. He just looks over to Tizo.
Scouts, huh? That's intriguing. Well, right this way, please. Right this way. And
He whispers as we're walking. How much of this information are we telling folks?
Probably shouldn't tell everybody what our actual plan is here.
He looks up. He's like, "Did I say scouts? I meant we're merchants. We're buying stuff, selling stuff. You know."
Buying and selling.
What is the full name of this ship? Is it just the Phoenix?
I had the name. It's Phoenix.
You have
something.
the Yankee alphabet on there? Poetic alphabet?
I'll just probably say Yankee Beta because it's definitely not Alpha. I remember my Alpha. I lost her dearly.
okay. So you guys, you make your way
be
to.
Bravo.
We don't have to like role play all this out, but if you go ahead and you pay your 50 credits at the gates, they go ahead and they start taking care of the refueling of the ship and everything that they need to do in the meantime. So you guys have purchased yourself 3 days within this docking bay. You don't have to use them all if you don't want to, but they are there and they're available for you. If you were to, they let you know that if you were to want to stay longer, there will be the additional fee for additional days.
Parking meter.
Yep,
Yeah.
parking meter. Yep, they're keeping track of it.
Hey.
And there's no additional days. It's you have to pay the full 3 days, and if you're just staying for one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what they do. You know, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's how they get you every time.
Yeah.
In that way, you definitely see Nico say, "We definitely got a time limit. Just so you know, funds are kind of low."
I'm sure 3 days is perfect amount of time to accomplish our mission.
Fast forward to us, kind of like one shoe, kind of running back to the ship. We got 5 more minutes on the meter.
Yes.
And as you guys head into Rellis early in the morning, that's where we're going to call tonight's episode